everyone, welcome. This is Joti Balani. I'm founder and managing director of FreshRiver.ai. We're a conversational AI and data science consultancy. We do strategy and delivery of conversational AI experiences for the Fortune 100. I'm joined today by Sam Zegas, the VP of Operations of Deepgram. Welcome, Sam.
Thanks so much.
Introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Sure, I'd love to. I'm Sam Zegas. I'm VP of Operations at Deepgram. I also work a lot with our data operations and language team. So I generally am involved in operations, but in addition, I am part of the team that curates new data sets so that we can make new models.
Absolutely. So tell me the inspiration behind Deepgram. What problem was it set out to solve?
So Deepgram was founded really working on the speech-to-text problem space. And our founder, Scott Stevenson, was really looking at how we could turn very, very messy audio data, unstructured audio data, into structured data so that then further value could be created on top of that. We were the first end-to-end deep learning solution that was available on the market. We've been developing that for several years now, 7 years. And we actually just recently passed our 10,000 years of audio hours at Deepgram, which is not only a cool big number, but also because it is a deep learning solution, every hour of audio that goes through the system improves the models.
Sure.
So that was a big milestone for us. Basically now we work on speech understanding as well, so we also have summarization, topic detection, speaker demographics, sentiment analysis. At the end of the day, we are really just trying to be the best possible partner for people who are building scalable products with voice.
So you basically have built a very strong framework, starting with speech to text and then building the more capability. Are there specific segments of the industry or functional areas that are gravitating more towards the tech in general and Deepgram's solution in particular?
Sure. Well, I think fundamentally we've tried to build a product that is agnostic of sector and whatnot. That was a strategic choice. We just wanted to give people a toolkit that they can use for a lot of different things. And it's been very interesting to see the use cases proliferate as time has gone on. Conversational AI, though, is definitely something that we focus a lot of attention on. It's a large and growing sector for us. And I think a place where we're going to see a lot of tech development in the next couple of years, just as more human-like interactions become possible. Although actually one of the things that I was most interested in today came from a conversation with Kevin Frederick at OneReach, and he asked the question, is it always right for the aims of conversational AI to make the systems more human-like? Are there times when that's actually not the right goal? Thinking about tasks that machines are able to do faster or more efficiently than humans can. I just thought that was really interesting food for thought.
It is, because I think we're opening up a lot of questions around not only the economic benefits, but the ethical and the emotional intelligence, right? Just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Yeah.
Do you guys target all languages around the world? Because there's just a ton of them, right, with different dialects.
Yeah, this question is near and dear to my heart because I'm actually a linguist by background.
Fantastic! I love that. I love that.
Oh, I love it too. So right now we're in production with over 30 languages. Those are your major world languages: Spanish, French, German, Hindi, Chinese, Japanese. It has been a lot of fun to make those languages. Our team really loves working on those sorts of projects. We know that we need to keep on expanding that list, and there are thousands and thousands of languages in the world. Something that is personally very important to me is to see more language inclusion and us building models that serve language communities that have been historically and economically underrepresented, so that you can bring those people in an equitable way into speech technology.
How do you do the training? Because these models, they like guzzle, they guzzle like gas guzzlers, right? Where do you access that data for all these languages as well, right?
Yeah, wow, it's a great question. So we have an awesome data operations team at Deepgram that specializes in a number of different methods that allow you to curate a data set. So depending on the target language we're working on, and sometimes it's just a general language model, other times it is a use case model or a dialect model or an accent model. There are a lot of different ways that we can do it. We prefer to do things in-house, so we might find sources available if there are large audio sources. Many times there aren't. And many of our customers come to us and would like a custom model, but they don't have data.
Right.
So what we can actually do at Deepgram is launch a project to generate data that is designed to have exactly the right qualities so that the resulting model will perform in the way that the customer needs it to.
Yeah, because accuracy is important, right? It drives everything from user trust to adoption. Otherwise, people, kind of say, I don't want to use it because it's not, it has to be sensitive enough, right? Privacy and security.
Yeah.
What framework are you guys deploying around that space?
Well, this is an area that I wouldn't say is my top area of expertise, but what I will say is that Deepgram offers deployments on-prem and in the cloud, and we've seen a huge uptake in interest of people who want on-prem deployments. It's something that's very easy for us to do, and so we're really leaning into that offering and making sure that people who want that sort of deployment, for data retention reasons, are able to do that with all of the tools that they need to get started with very little friction and have the same kind of experience that they would have using our API, but to do it with total control over their domain.
You mentioned my favorite word, friction, because I always talk about the fact that how do you remove friction from the system when you're looking at a customer journey, be it with speech to text or the NLU. What does the next 6 to 12 months look like for you guys?
So the next 6 to 12 months, I think the headline for us is going to be speech understanding. And I mentioned a few of those features or those problem areas earlier, things like summarization, topic identification, demographic analysis, sentiment analysis. These features are in the market today, but they're not great yet. Now I say that, people can use our products. I don't want to undermine that people should go and test them. I really encourage people to test them. But we can realistically have a vision that these things can get much better. I don't think anyone has really cracked the code on sentiment analysis, for example. Everyone has a different framework in mind for what sentiment they'd like to measure.
That's right.
And the way that you are going to solve that problem ultimately is it's a design problem. It's understanding customer by customer, organization by organization, what matters, curating a data set, and building a custom model that can enable them. So
I think it's very intentional, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just want to go deploy the tech and think that it works, and it's not. If you use it correctly, train it correctly, you're going to see the results there.
Right.
Interoperability. APIs, modularity, talk to me a little bit about that, because you're also part of a broader ecosystem, right, as you go into enterprises. What does that look like? How have you guys built it?
Yeah, so Deepgram, the core product that we offer is an API, and we want software developers to have an awesome experience just coming in and kicking the tires, and to make it as easy as possible to integrate Deepgram with a larger solution. We also really make our pricing plans so that the pricing scales. If you want to use us at scale, it's not prohibitively expensive to do so. We also have some partner integrations that we're really excited about. We recently became available as a partner integration on the Twilio marketplace.
Wow, very nice.
Yes, thanks. We love Twilio as a company. We think that they do great work, and just to connect with that community is great. Where it's as you said, reducing friction for people to take a tech solution that they already know and love, and then use Deepgram there.
Yeah, those channels are really powerful, right? We're going to go deploy this.
Right.
What is one of your favorite use cases, like personal favorite?
Oh, that's a great question. This is a very simple one. It's hard to pick favorites because I think there's so many inspirational things happening, but I'm going to mention one that is very, very basic, and it's a company called Badger. And I say that, I think that this is complementary to them. It's so simple and it's so needed. They create badges that just record speech in real time and display it on a badge that you're wearing on your clothing. And their thesis is that there are so many people who have accessibility problems for whatever reason, whether it's a language barrier or that someone is wearing a mask or that they're hard of hearing or any of those things. And just creating this added layer to say, hey, I care about solving this problem for you. Here's an added solution that hopefully bridges that gap for you. I just think that's really inspirational.
So I think accessibility and inclusion, I think is very critical. I was talking to the gentleman from Verbit earlier today. Mm-hmm. There's actually a market on it. I say, nobody will do things out of altruism, although it feels good when somebody is solving their problem. But I think there's a capitalistic reason why we should be thinking about inclusion and diversity. And I think technologies like Deepgram are going to enable that. Are you guys doing anything to sort of make that more systemic and making sure you're pushing to that as you advise clients and how you do use cases?
Yeah, well, there are a couple of ways to answer that. One of them is that Deepgram is a platform that people build on top of, and we love to actively partner with people who come to Deepgram and have an interesting project. We also have a startup program where we give lots of free credits to use Deepgram to people who have a cool new idea, and we definitely will evaluate those applications if someone has an interesting idea in the inclusion type space. That's very interesting to us. I also personally, as I mentioned before, really care a lot about underrepresented languages.
Right.
And I think that one of the things that we'd like to do in the next few years is build more and more automated pipelines so that the human burden of creating a new language model is drastically reduced.
Right.
And then we'll be able to give people more or less self-service tools to say, hey, I care about this language, and that is enough for me to go and try to integrate it closer with tech.
I think they're spectacular, and I think the reason is because you're a linguist and you actually have the love of languages and the understanding. And I'm really excited, especially, to have more folks from the humanities and arts and the linguistic backgrounds, because I think we need that in equal parts as we do technologists, right? Because I think it's the left side and the right side of the brain that I think produce the most beautiful outcomes.
I think you're exactly right.
Thank you so much, Sam. I remembered your name.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the show. Is there anything else you want to share with our audience that we didn't cover?
Oh, I know. I would just say it's been awesome to be here. We've had so many cool conversations, and thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Enjoy. Thank you so much.